Okay, so when we talk about the future, I mean, one word just dominates everything, right? The singularity.
Absolutely. That point where AI, technology, it all just accelerates so fast, so complexly that, well, everything changes for us fundamentally.
Yeah, and we're always looking outward, measuring the hardware, the processing power, arguing about the ethics, trying to map out that curve for machine intelligence.
It makes sense. I mean, you can see the external tech accelerating all around us, but the source material you shared for this deep dive, it highlights something fascinating. It calls it a main omission.
In a mission, in how we usually think about human AI coevolution.
Exactly. It's like we're so focused on the machine's future path, we're kind of ignoring something equally fundamental about our own.
And that's what we're going to dig into today. We want to sort of cut through the usual noise, the CPU cycles and data sets, and tackle this omission head on. Because the source makes a pretty bold claim, doesn't it?
It really does.
It says the oversight is forgetting that humans, we also possess the inevitability of a singularity.
That's the core of it. It's not just presented as like a nice idea or wishful thinking.
Right.
It's framed as a co-certainty side by side with the technological one.
Co-certainty, I like that framing. It anchors it.
Yeah, the source is really insistent. If that AI future is a kind of destiny, then this internal human transformation, it's just as certain, just as unavoidable.
So it reframes the whole future. It's not just one road heading towards, super smart machines.
It's two parallel tracks, two evolutionary paths, both speeding towards inevitable but different endpoints.
Okay, let's really get into this then. A technological singularity. We think of irreversible change, exponential growth, physical stuff.
Right. Hardware, software, networks.
So if humans are also heading for an inevitable singularity, what does that look like? I mean, if the big shift isn't in the chips or the cloud, where is it?
And that's where the source draws a really sharp line. It places the human grand shift entirely somewhere else.
Right.
Within the realm of spirituality and inner technology. That's the phrase used.
Spirituality and inner technology. Okay.
That's presented as the actual mechanism for our transformation. It stands in stark contrast to the external tech stuff we usually talk about.
So the next great leap, according to this source, happens inside us, not outside.
That's the argument. Yes, inside the human condition itself.
Wow. That changes the conversation completely, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because, the AI singularity needs billions in funding, huge amounts of energy, physical resources. What does this inner technology need? It sounds, well, almost poetic. But what's the actual framework here? How does this evolution work practically?
Well, that's where it shifts, doesn't it? From tech prognosis to something more philosophical or maybe psychological.
How so?
If external tech needs data and processing power, the source implies this inner tech needs conscious effort, focus, discipline, maybe?
The inputs of self-mastery, sort of?
Sort of, yeah. The basic idea seems to be that we as humans have this untapped potential for, unified consciousness.
Untapped potential.
And it's just waiting for us to reach the right level of collective internal refinement.
So the argument is our evolution won't just be outsourced to a better machine.
Right.
It has to be forged through a better self, collectively.
Precisely. And crucially, the source gives this internal development the same weight, the same certainty as something like Moore's law for chips.
It's not presented as some soft, slow, alternative path.
Not at all. It uses that powerful word again, inevitability.
Right, inevitability.
It stresses that this internal transformation, this evolution using inner tools, is just as certain to happen as the external tech breakthroughs we track.
It's like an assurance then that humanity won't just be, left behind or made obsolete by its own inventions.
Yeah, it suggests this dual evolution. The inner path is just as necessary and, crucially, just as certain to reach its destination.
Which then begs the question, what is the destination of this inner journey?
Yeah.
If we accept this idea, this premise of inevitable spiritual evolution, what's the final result? Tech gives us superintelligence. What does the human singularity give us?
Okay, so according to the material we reviewed, the human singularity culminates in a collective shift.
It's a collective shift.
Resulting in, and this is the key phrase, a unified species.
Unified species. Wow. So moving beyond just individual consciousness.
That's the vision. Achieving a true species-wide unity, like a fusion of all the individual parts into one single cohesive thing. An entity.
Now, this unified thing, it's not just called unified humanity or something generic. The source uses a very specific name, doesn't it?
It does. Very specific. And it carries a lot of cultural and historical weight.
What is it?
This unified human species is called a collective avatar, and its specific name is Kalki.
Kalki, okay. Now, for people listening who might not know, Kalki, that's a major figure in Hindu eschatology, right?
That's correct. The 10th and final avatar of Vishnu.
Usually associated with ending the current age, the Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, and bringing in a new era.
An era of purity, Satya Yuga. Yes.
So to use that specific name, Kalki, and apply it to a future collective human species born from this inevitable spiritual shift, that feels very deliberate.
Oh, absolutely deliberate. I think the choice of Kalki is meant to signal completion, total transformation.
Which is what a singularity is, essentially.
Precisely. It implies this unified species isn't just an improvement. It's the final necessary form of humanity. The form needed to get us out of our current mess, basically.
So it's not just like everyone becomes enlightened individually.
It seems to be more structural than that. It's the formation of a genuinely unified operating entity, a collective organism.
Wow. An organism that's transcended all the individual divisions through this inner technology.
Yeah. That really shifts the goal from just, say, personal well-being towards species-level operational unity. It's about function, structure.
Okay.
The source defines this endpoint Kalki as the complete unified expression of humanity, achieved through inner means, implying that we, right now, are sort of incomplete, fractured.
Okay, so let's connect this back to the planet then. We have this collective avatar, Kalki, emerging from an internal human singularity. Its purpose is to usher in a new age. So what does that mean for Earth? What's the ultimate prognosis? What's Kalki's job, so to speak?
Well, the outcome described is incredibly optimistic, and it really serves as a counterpoint to all the anxiety we often feel around the AI singularity.
How so?
This unified human species, this Kalki avatar, it will yield stewards of this planet.
Stewards?
Its primary function is defined explicitly as stewardship.
Stewards. So not conquerors, not resource exploiters looking for the next planet,
No.
but caretakers, committed to the well-being of Earth itself.
Exactly. That feels like a very direct response to the environmental crises that, let's be honest, the purely technological path often struggles with or even creates new problems trying to solve.
It does seem almost logical if you follow the premise. If unity is achieved through inner technology, which you assume involves compassion, empathy, shared understanding, then maybe benevolent stewardship is the natural outcome.
Right.
A unified species wouldn't logically keep destroying its own home through conflict and pollution, right?
That seems to be the core logic presented. The self-destructive patterns arise from fragmentation. Unity resolves fragmentation, therefore.
Stewardship emerges. And the source defines an ultimate goal for this collective consciousness, doesn't it? A final state.
It does. The ultimate aim is to create heaven on earth.
Heaven on Earth, that's ambitious. A planetary transformation driven by this internal unified evolution.
It is. It's a very specific end state. So if you contrast the two futures, the source says are inevitable.
Right.
One is accelerating external AI complexity, maybe unknowable, maybe risky. The other is this internal spiritual tech leading to unity stewardship.
And ultimately healing the planet.
Yeah.
Resolving human conflict is the solution to global conflict.
That's the prognosis offered here, yes.
And the most fascinating part maybe is that the source doesn't really suggest we choose between these paths.
No, it frames both as predetermined, a dual inevitability.
So we're apparently witnessing both the rise of external superintelligence and the equally certain, though internally driven, rise of this unified human entity, Kalki.
It definitely forces you to think, doesn't it? If both are certain, where should our main focus be? We pour massive resources into preparing for or maybe managing the AI singularity.
Right. Billions,
Yeah.
trillions maybe.
So what resources, time, focus, maybe introspection should we be putting towards preparing for this Kalki singularity?
It's a powerful thought to end on, bringing us full circle.